What if wealth has always been waiting, not for your effort, but for your alignment? What if the endless race was never meant to be run? What if money has never been hiding? Only your awareness has. Picture this. A traveler, worn and breathless, running in endless loops around a towering gate. He believes beyond that gate lies abundance, freedom, safety. He knocks, pleads, pushes, but the gate won't move. He assumes he is locked out. He believes life is punishing him. He thinks God is distant. Until one day, exhausted and bare, he drops to his knees, and in the silence of surrender, he touches his chest and feels it. The key, it was never lost, only forgotten. The gate was never locked, only unopened. And suddenly, everything changes, not because he worked harder, but because he finally remembered who he is. This is where you are, not broken, not late, but on the edge of a sacred realization. You were never meant to chase money, because money is not faster than you. It is not running away. It does not belong to someone else. It is governed by a law deeper than effort, a rhythm quieter than noise, a vibration more powerful than force. Divine law, and divine law does not respond to panic. It does not bend to pressure. It does not obey fear. It only moves by resonance. What you hold within, you draw without. What you believe, you magnetize. What you expect, you prepare for. What you align with becomes your reality. There is no punishment in lack, only misalignment, only disconnection from the source that never runs dry. You have not failed, you have forgotten the divine orchestra already playing for your wealth, forgotten that your soul is the composer, forgotten that your belief is the baton that conducts the flow. Let this moment be the end of the chase, the end of the noise, the end of trying to wrestle abundance into submission. You cannot fight for what is already yours. You can only remember it, receive it, align with it. Money is not earned through strain. It is received through spiritual obedience, to the inner laws, to the divine blueprint, to the frequency of truth. You are not in lack. You are in transition, from illusion to illumination, from fear to flow, from seeking to becoming. Let these words echo in the halls of your mind. I do not chase wealth. I radiate the laws that draw it to me. Feel them settle into your chest. Speak them with reverence. Let them reshape the architecture of your inner world. Take a breath. Let go of the grasping. Let go of the old story that said you must run, grind, prove. Let go of the image of yourself as unworthy. You were never meant to earn God's abundance. You are part of it. Today, the chase ends. Today, you stop running around the gate. Today, you turn inward and unlock it. And what happens when the gate opens will be revealed in the next breath, in the next teaching, in the next law. Because this journey is just beginning. And now that you've stopped chasing, you're finally ready to receive. In the beginning was the Word. And that Word was not weak. It was not hesitant. It was not unsure. It was a decree, a sound of power that shaped all things unseen. Bothwa, what if you realized that your words are not casual, not harmless background noise, but sacred tools, commands issued to the invisible, instructions sent into the divine workshop of creation. Every word you speak is a seed, and the soil of your life does not judge what you plant, it simply grows it. Your subconscious does not obey what you hope, it obeys what you declare. It listens when you are casual, it listens when you are angry, it listens when you are afraid, and it molds your future accordingly. Picture this. A sculptor stands before a block of unseen clay. There are no tools in hand, only voice. She speaks into the silence. Form, rise, soften here, curve here, and as the words leave her lips, the clay obeys, not instantly, but inevitably. See your own life, your finances, your opportunities, your relationships, all as clay, all listening, all waiting to be shaped by the voice of your authority. You are not a beggar in the divine realm. You are a co-creator, a commander of unseen substance, and the law is this: speak only what you want multiplied. Say I never have enough, and that becomes the mold. Say I can't afford it, and that becomes the limit. Say it always goes wrong, and the pattern solidifies. But change the word, and you change the form. Instead of, I'm so behind, speak, I am divinely right on time. All unfolds in perfect order. Instead of, I'll never have enough, speak, my supply is infinite. Prosperity flows to me now, without delay. Instead of "this is too hard," speak, "I am guided with ease. The way is made clear before me." This is not fantasy. This is the law of the word. And Florence Scovel Shinn said it plainly. Your word is your wand. What you speak, you summon. That the spiritual world does not respond to begging. It responds to knowing, to certainty, to faith sealed in speech. Do not wait until you see it to say it. Say it until you see it. Say it as if it were already yours, because it is. Let your voice become the sound of your becoming. Let it echo in alignment with divine truth. Let it cancel every curse you've accidentally spoken over your life. Your healing begins with your tongue. Your wealth begins in your mouth. Your transformation begins in the sentence you speak next. Ask yourself gently, what words am I using to shape my future? Write them down. Look at them without judgment. Then rewrite them in truth. Replace fear with power. Replace lack with divine abundance. Replace doubt with certainty. Here is your affirmation. My words create my world. I speak only what I want multiplied. Let it settle in you. Repeat it aloud. Whisper it to your finances, to your mornings, to your dreams. You are not here to react. You are here to declare, to stand tall in your divine identity and say, I know who I am, I know what is mine, and I call it into form with the voice of faith. This is your law now. Let it guide every syllable. Let it renew every story. Let it be the first step toward speaking your future into form, because now that your mouth is aligned, the law will do the rest. And in the next breath, we move deeper into the next divine principle, where timing is not delayed, but divinely prepared. He stood outside the mansion, clothes worn thin, eyes low with the ache of years spent knocking. The golden door never opened. Not once. So he begged, he pleaded, he believed he was on the outside, unworthy, small, invisible, until one day, in a moment of sacred stillness, he noticed the worn key around his neck, and the name engraved on the handle his. He wasn't a stranger, he wasn't a visitor, he was the owner. The estate was his. All this time, he had been begging at his own door. This is how most people live. They pray for wealth. They strive for permission. They wait for some cosmic nod of approval to prosper. But the truth is this. You cannot enter what you already are. You can only remember it. Wealth is not outside of you. It is not locked in someone else's house. It is not held by people more talented, more lucky, more deserving. It lives within the sacred container of your identity, and that identity must be reclaimed. The law of identity says this: you will only receive what you believe you are allowed to hold, no more, no less. And when your self-image is small, so is your spiritual receiving cup. It overflows not because of abundance, but because of misalignment. You say you want overflow, but within you still echoes the belief, I'm too much if I ask for more. I'm spiritual, so I shouldn't want riches. I'll lose people if I become abundant. These are not just thoughts. They are walls, invisible, but powerful, and they keep you circling the garden instead of sitting at the table. But what if you dropped them? What if you remembered that wanting wealth does not make you unspiritual? It makes you awake. What if you stopped apologizing for your desire to thrive? What if you realized that wealth is not a distraction, but a divine extension of who you are? God did not plant seeds of greatness in you to keep them hidden. The universe does not withhold. It waits. It waits for your alignment. It waits for you to walk through the gate that was never locked, because you are the gate, not the guest. Take a moment now. Stand before your reflection, not to judge, but to recognize. Breathe in the truth that has always been yours. Let your chest rise with the knowing that your name is written on the inheritance. You are not borrowing space on this earth. You are here by divine assignment. Speak these words softly but surely. I am the vessel of divine wealth. I carry the frequency of prosperity. Say them again, louder, until your body remembers, until your breath reshapes the lie that said you must earn what is already within. You are not here to chase your worth. You are here to embody it, to take up space in the realm of divine provision, to expand without guilt, to rise without apology. This is your spiritual work now, to declare yourself worthy, to dismantle the illusion of lack tied to your identity, to see yourself not as a visitor in abundance, but as its rightful host. Use the mirror, use your breath, use your voice. Stand each morning and say, I do not ask for permission to prosper. I remember who I am. Let your eyes meet your soul. Let your words rewrite the architecture of your self-image. This is not surface confidence. This is soul-deep recognition. The kind that cannot be shaken by circumstance or silence. The kind that whispers even in doubt, I belong here, because you do. And when you finally walk through the door, not as a beggar, but as the builder, you will find that wealth was never withheld. It was simply waiting for the return of your true self. And now that you've stepped in, we go further still. Because wealth is not just about identity. It is about allowing to the flow that never ends, to the supply that has always been yours, to the receiving that begins now. There is a river running through your life, invisible to the eye, but felt by the soul. It carries wealth, love, breath, grace. It flows where trust lives, and it stops where fear begins. Imagine that river now, clear, unstoppable, vast. Now imagine placing a dam in the center of it, stone by stone, thought by thought. I can't let this go. What if there's not enough? What if it never comes back? And suddenly, the river no longer moves. It stagnates. It swells. It spoils. This is what happens when we hoard, when we grip tightly to what we fear to lose. Money, time, love. We think we're securing our future, but we're only sealing the flow. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that money is like blood. It must circulate to give life. Stop its movement, and you invite disease. Let it flow, and you invite miracles. The law of circulation is not about reckless giving, it's about sacred releasing. It's knowing that when you release with faith, you rise with power. It's understanding that every act of letting go is a signal to the divine that you trust its return. Holding to tightly is not strength, it's spiritual distrust. It's the silent belief that the universe is limited, that if you give, you'll lack, that if you open your hands, they'll be left empty. But the truth is, empty hands are the only ones that can be filled. So what are you holding right now that you're afraid to lose? $1 in your account. A person who's already left. You in spirit. A version of yourself that no longer fits your calling. Write it down. Let it come through your pen. What am I holding that I'm afraid to lose? Let that question meet your honesty. Let it stir the places you've kept hidden. Then breathe into that fear. Hold it gently, and release it with reverence. From this day forward, assign energy to what you give. Speak over every dollar. Bless every bill. Before you send it, say, you are a seed. You will return multiplied. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. This is circulation. Next time you buy something, whisper over the transaction, I circulate this with joy. It shall return in divine form. Let your money become a prayer. Let your release become a declaration. Let your giving become an act of faith. You are not losing. You are planting. You are not draining. You are expanding. And when it feels hard, when the mind wants to cling, speak this truth out loud. Every time I release, I rise. I trust divine circulation. Say it until your nervous system softens. Say it until your breath flows freely. Again, you were never meant to be a container. You are a channel, a vessel, through which the divine pours its riches. And the more open you are, the more it flows. Even rivers do not fear giving to the ocean, because they know it is the source. They return to . So trust your flow, trust your generosity, trust your release. The divine does not take. It recycles, it multiplies, it blesses. And the more you release, the lighter you become, the higher you rise. Now breathe, place your hand on your heart, and remember this, circulation is not loss, it is movement. It is rhythm. It is the sacred dance of giving and receiving. And as you surrender to that dance, you'll begin to see that abundance doesn't come to you, it moves through you. And in that movement, you become magnetic. We are not done. There is more to unlock. Because after circulation comes command, and in the next law, you will learn how to speak your reality into form. To claim your wealth, not with effort, but with divine authority. It begins with your words. And it begins now. You are not waiting for the blessing. You are rehearsing the moment it arrives. Not from doubt, but from knowing, from sacred certainty, from divine rehearsal. The law of assumption is not about hoping. It is the embodiment of faith matured into form. It is the bold act of living as though the prayer has already unfolded. Of walking into a room that doesn't yet exist, but whose walls you already know, whose air you already breathe, whose atmosphere feels like home to your soul. You are the actor of your reality, but not one begging for a role. You have already been cast. and the scene has already been written. Your only task now is to perform it from completion. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. This is the vibration that bends time. This is the frequency that draws the future into the present, because the universe is not reacting to your words, it is responding to your state. Your assumption is the mold. Reality is the clay. You must assume the identity of the one who already has, not in arrogance, but in divine alignment. This is not pretending, it is remembering. It is knowing that what you are calling for is already seeking you, already written in the script of your soul's story. So close your eyes, step into the vision, see the home that is yours in spirit. The door is already unlocked. Walk inside, run your hand along the walls, smell the air, feel the sunlight through the windows, touch the furniture that holds your joy, listen to the silence that welcomes you. You are not outside this dream, you are inside it. Because you are the one who dreamt it. You are not becoming wealthy. You are remembering that you already are. Wealth is not arriving, it is unveiling. The delay is not in time, it is in belief. When you walk by faith, you collapse the illusion of waiting. You cut the cord to someday and live in the now, because now is where creation occurs. Now is where the quantum field opens. Now is where God meets your frequency. Start moving like it's already done. Speak with the grace of the one who has already received. Dress with the joy of the fulfilled. Make decisions like someone whose destiny is sealed. Because it is. You are not chasing, you are aligning. The old questions dissolve here. When will it come? How much longer must I wait? These are the questions of someone still outside their miracle. But you are no longer outside. You are inside the answer. So reframe it now. Say softly to yourself, I no longer ask if it will come. I live as if it already has. Feel the power of that shift. Feel how it untangles time. Feel how it lifts your energy from grasping to gratitude. Every step you take from this place of knowing sends ripples through the unseen. Every action becomes a prophecy. Every breath becomes magnetic. This is the secret of those who manifest with grace. They don't wait for evidence. They are the evidence. They don't ask for signs. They live as the sign. Now, take this affirmation and let it be your rhythm. I walk in the energy of already received. My faith collapses time. Whisper it into the mirror. Write it on your walls. Etch it into your daily thoughts. Let it become your spiritual posture. Because assumption is not passive. It is power. It is spiritual certainty dressed in human motion. It is how you step into the divine orchestra and play the note that tells the universe, I am ready. I have arrived. It is done. And as you continue this journey, you'll see that assumption is only one part, because faith also requires voice. And in the next section, we will explore the power of command, how your words create structure, how your tongue becomes the architect of your wealth. Get ready to speak, because creation is listening. Every thought is a seed, every fear, a shadow longing for light. But here's the truth, you cannot think the thoughts at once. You cannot hold lack and abundance in the same breath. You cannot fear collapse while declaring divine support. This is the law of substitution, a sacred key to mental freedom, a sword that severs old scripts, a divine eraser that rewrites the page in real time. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the mind is a garden. It will grow whatever is planted by faith or by fear. But you are not the victim of your thoughts. You are the master gardener, and the moment you recognize the weed, you have the power to pull it out and plant something holy in its place. The law of substitution is your tool. It interrupts the spiral. It halts the looping voice of lack. It silences the inner tyrant. Fear, what if I don't have enough? Truth, I live under the law of divine abundance. Doubt, what if I fail again? Truth, God's plan for me is unfolding in perfect timing. Worry, what if everything falls apart? Truth, I am supported by something eternal, something unseen, something unfailing. You don't argue with fear. You override it. You speak truth into its hollow echo. You displace it with the frequency of divine knowing. Because the subconscious mind doesn't argue. It absorbs, and every word you speak while in a state of belief becomes a blueprint for your reality. So make it a daily practice. When fear rises, don't freeze, don't analyze. Speak as if heaven is listening. Because it is. Speak as if your future depends on the next sentence, because it does. Audibly declare the truth. Say it out loud. Interrupt the pattern with presence, with precision. Fear, I might not make rent. Truth, God is my instant, constant supply. Fear, I'm not worthy of wealth. Truth, divine inheritance is my birthright. Fear, I don't see how this will work out. Truth, even in the unseen, divine order is at work. These are not affirmations of fantasy. These are declarations of alignment. Every substitution becomes a spiritual transaction. You trade doubt for destiny. You trade worry for wisdom. You trade panic for peace. The law of substitution is not mental trickery. It is soul chemistry. You are cleansing the internal river so it may flow again with clarity, with power, with divine vision. Your mind is not broken. It is just full. And now, you are emptying the fear to make space for faith. So here is your healing tool. Simple, sacred, effective. When fear speaks, whisper truth louder. When your mind floods with what if, anchor it with I am. Your self-talk becomes your sanctuary. Let it be gentle, yet firm. Let it be rooted in eternal law, not temporary emotion. Journaling prompt. What am I still holding that I'm afraid to lose? Write it down. Then write the divine truth that replaces it. Let it be your soul's dialogue. Now, breathe in. Feel the stillness underneath the noise. This is your sacred reset. This is where old patterns end, and new vision begins. Affirmed softly. There is no space for fear where divine truth is spoken. Let that truth live in your mirror, in your morning. In the moment fear knocks again, because it will, and when it does, you'll be ready. Your words are no longer echoes of doubt. They are instruments of power. You have learned to interrupt the pattern, to speak truth over fear, to choose clarity over confusion. And this, beloved, is where the shift happens. And now, having reset the mind, we move deeper into the place where faith becomes a force, where the unseen becomes substance. How to assume it as already done. Imagine a radio dial, static noise, distortion. Nothing comes through clearly until one thing happens. Tuning. You turn the dial ever so slightly, and suddenly, the signal aligns. The voice becomes clear. The music plays without interruption. This is how divine manifestation works. This is the law of agreement. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your words are not just sounds, they are assignments. But they must be backed by the vibration of belief. Otherwise, they bounce back unheard. UNANCHORED. You can say, I am wealthy, but if your inner voice whispers, I am still afraid, the universe receives a split signal. The frequency becomes scrambled. The manifestation stalls. To manifest wealth, you must align mouth, mind, and mood. Your outer declaration must match your inner conviction. This is the sacred harmony where power lives. This is the divine orchestra of agreement. When you say, I receive, but secretly brace for lack, you've broken the current, the energy short-circuits. It's not punishment. It's simply physics of the unseen. Your subconscious is always listening. It is the soil to every spoken word, but it will not bear fruit from seeds it does not believe. So here's where your work begins. Go within, not with judgment, with honesty, with love. Ask yourself gently, what do I really believe about money? What was I taught to think about wealth? Which words come out of my mouth that my heart does not trust? And when the answers come, do not run. Write them down. Every limiting belief, every old script, every fear disguised as logic. Write them with reverence. Then release them. Tear the page. Burn it safely. Let the smoke rise like prayer. Let the ash become testimony. This is your sacred clearing, your silent surrender at the gate of destiny. You cannot build a temple on fractured ground. You cannot speak power into a place still occupied by shame. Clear the space. Make room for divine agreement. Now, take a new page. Write the truth, your truth. Write it in present tense. Write it with boldness. Let every sentence be a trumpet in your soul. I trust money because I trust God. I release guilt around receiving. I was created for overflow. I am supported by unseen rivers of wealth. I walk in divine compensation. Feel the words before you speak them. Breathe them into your bones. Let them echo in your silence. Now say them aloud, not with effort, with agreement. Let your voice match your vibration. Let your mood mirror your declaration. My mouth, mind, and mood agree with abundance. Say it again, slower this time, with reverence. with inner alignment, because when your inner world and outer voice move as one, creation obeys, delay dissolves, doors open not because you forced them, but because you finally matched their frequency. And this is the invitation. Stop speaking from the neck up, speak from the soul, speak what you are ready to embody. Don't perform prosperity, become it. Walk through your day as one who agrees with heaven. Let your posture, your tone, your choices reflect it. This is more than affirmation. It is attunement. You are the dial. You are the vessel. You are the receiver and the transmitter. When all parts of you speak the same truth, the signal becomes unshakable. So pause here with me. Feel the quiet alignment, the sacred clarity of being whole, of not contradicting yourself anymore. Repeat once more. As prayer and promise, my mouth, mind, and mood agree with abundance. Let this agreement be sealed in your actions, in your silence, in how you answer life today. And now that you are tuned to the signal of truth, it is time to elevate further, to step into the realm where wealth is not earned by effort, but drawn by identity. A gardener does not throw seeds into the soil and vanish. She kneels, she waters, she watches, not once, not sometimes. Every day, there is a rhythm in her hands, a sacred order to her care. She does not ask the seed to bloom before its time. She obeys the law of growth, patient, faithful. She tends to the unseen until the seen arrives. This is the law of obedience, and it is the heartbeat of wealth. In Florence Scovel Shinn's teachings, obedience does not mean blind submission. It means divine rhythm. It means showing up even when your eyes see no fruit. It means honoring the invisible structure that governs abundance. Because spiritual law does not respond to randomness. It responds to rhythm. It listens to the drumbeat of your devotion, to your daily return, to your repeated agreement with truth. Random effort creates random results, but rhythmic action births divine momentum. The law of obedience is the soul's covenant with consistency. When you speak truth one day and vanish the next, you break the current. You confuse the signal. You send mixed instructions to the infinite. But when you obey the law, when your mouth, your mood, and your moments become aligned with the divine, you become predictable to heaven, trustworthy to truth. You are no longer a visitor to abundance. You are a resident. Wealth is not a moment. It is a rhythm, a sacred choreography between your spirit and the source. So today, you are invited into rhythm, into holy repetition, not as punishment, as power. Let this be your 7-day obedience practice. Simple, sacred, consistent. Each morning, declare your alignment before the world wakes. Let your first words be instructions to the universe. Affirm not what you see, but what you know. Say aloud, I am in harmony with divine substance. I receive before I strive. My life is rich because my source is infinite. Feel these words. Let them wash the remnants of yesterday's doubt. Each midday pause. No matter where you are, place your hand on your heart. Breathe 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. With every exhale, release resistance. With every inhale, receive support. This is your spiritual recalibration, a return to rhythm. Each evening, give thanks, not as obligation, as offering. Speak gratitude for what has arrived, and for what is en route. Say, I honor the unseen work of the day. I thank divine law for handling what my hands cannot. I sleep in faith, not fear. Let your sleep become sacred soil. Let your dreams be watered by devotion. This 7-day obedience practice is not about results. It is about resonance. It teaches the universe that you are serious, that you are consistent, that you will not sow one day and curse the soil the next. You are a gardener of the invisible, and obedience is your watering can. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present, daily, faithfully, without needing applause, without needing proof before the promise. Because here is the truth. God does not respond to panic. He responds to pattern. He answers those who show up even when nothing seems to change. You are not waiting on wealth. Wealth is waiting on rhythm. So, become the rhythm. Let your actions beat like a drum in the spirit realm. Let the angels hear your pattern and respond with acceleration. Let your days be filled with purpose, not pressure. Repeat this truth often. Obedience to spiritual law is my wealth strategy. Say it when you're tired. Say it when you're tempted to give up. Say it when the noise outside tries to drown your inner knowing. because your consistency is your prophecy. Your rhythm is your miracle in motion. And now that you are no longer random with your power, you are ready to step into the next law, where wealth becomes not just consistent, but compounded by the divine. Expectation is not a wish whispered into the wind. It is a decree, a divine signature etched into the fabric of reality. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that man can only receive what he prepares for, and preparation is expectation, not passive, not pleading, but powerful, certain, like a sunrise that never fails to rise. To expect is not to beg, it is to align. You are not reaching for scraps at the gates of life. You are royalty, a divine heir, and a royal child does not wonder if the feast will come. She expects it because she knows it was prepared in her name. There is a frequency to expectation, like a radio dial tuned precisely to receive. Hope flickers. Expectation receives. Hope asks. Expectation claims. Hope is the visitor. Expectation is the key holder. Listen closely. The universe is not withholding from you. It is waiting for your frequency to match the promise, and that frequency is called expectation. When you speak lack but expect overflow, the signal scrambles. When you declare abundance but fear the delay, the current stalls. But when your mouth, your mind, and your mood move in perfect expectation, you unlock the vault. The law of expectation does not reward entitlement. It honors energetic agreement. It says, I do not expect because I am worthy by human standards. I expect because I am aligned with divine order. Repeat this to your spirit. I expect divine increase. It belongs to me. Not because you've done everything right. Not because you've mastered every step, but because you are finally aligned, clear, receptive, certain. Expectation is not arrogant. It is magnetic. It draws what is already yours, not through effort, but through essence. Picture this. You walk into a room prepared for you. Your name is etched in gold at the table. Would you doubt the seat is yours? Would you hesitate to sit? Would you question whether you're allowed to enjoy the meal? No, because it was always your place. You don't force what's already finished. You align with it. This is how prosperity finds you. Not through chase, through confidence. You must now declare what you expect, not as a maybe, as a mirror of your divine identity. Take a pen. Complete this sacred statement. I expect because I align with. Write it from your soul. Write it as a covenant. Seal it with truth. Maybe it sounds like this. I expect financial freedom because I align with the abundance of divine substance. I expect new doors to open because I align with miraculous timing. I expect unexpected income because I align with infinite supply. Whatever flows from your spirit is right. Because when you speak from alignment, heaven takes notes. This is not magic. This is law. Spiritual law responds not to need, but to belief, not to desperation, but to declaration. So speak now, and speak boldly. Say it aloud. I expect divine increase. It belongs to me. Let those words settle into your nervous system. Let them rewrite the trauma of not having. Let them silence the voices of doubt and delay. Because you are no longer knocking on closed doors. You are stepping through open ones. Expectation opens the silent gate of destiny. It tells the angels, she's ready now. He's not hoping anymore. He's receiving, and when you walk like it's already done, when you give thanks before the evidence arrives, when you speak with the authority of a soul who knows who they are, the universe cannot resist you. Your name is already on the provision. The delivery is already in motion. The confirmation has been sent in spirit now. Just receive, not timidly, boldly, magnetically. Say this as you breathe in truth. I expect divine increase. It belongs to me. Say it until your atmosphere changes. Until your spirit straightens. Until heaven moves with you. Because now, you are no longer wishing. You are walking in certainty. And certainty is what wealth recognizes. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Let the outside world dissolve. Now step with me into the sacred. Imagine a golden temple rising within you. Its walls shimmer with ancient wisdom. Its silence hums with divine remembrance. This temple is not made by human hands. It was carved by spirit before time began. It is the sanctuary of your soul, the inner altar where thoughts become prayers, where words become worlds. This is your mind, not the mind that worries or fears, but the original mind, the holy space where creation begins. Now listen closely. Within these golden walls, your voice echoes. Every belief you've ever held still whispers here. Some were planted by love, others by fear, some by truth, others by trauma. Pause and ask gently, what does the inner temple of my mind currently echo? Let the answer rise without judgment. Do you hear scarcity or supply? Doubt or divine certainty? Are the chants, old wounds repeating themselves, or have you begun to speak in the language of healing? Florence Scovel Shinn said, the subconscious is simply power without direction, but you are no longer a wandering voice in the dark. You are the high priest of your own sanctuary. And now, we rewire the temple. Sit in the center of that golden space, feel light pouring from above. This is divine intelligence. It washes your inner walls, cleanses your mental altar, makes all things new. Now, speak into this sacred chamber. Speak not from habit, but from heaven. Say it clearly. My inner temple is tuned to the frequency of wealth. Let it echo. Let it bounce off the pillars of your inner world. Let it sink into every corner the old voices used to haunt. Again. My inner temple is tuned to the frequency of wealth. Feel the shift. This is not affirmation. This is installation. You are installing a new divine architecture. A blueprint where lack no longer lives. A system where fear cannot survive. A vibration that welcomes only what is aligned with your soul. Our reprogramming, not by force, but by faith, not by logic, by light. And light rewrites what darkness once claimed. See now the new symbols on your temple walls. They are etched with abundance, written in sacred code. They say, I am provided for in all things. I walk in rhythm with divine supply. I am a vessel of overflow, not just survival. Let these truths become the thoughts you think when no one is looking. Let them become your mental default, your spiritual muscle memory. You don't need to beg the universe. You need only to echo its nature, and its nature is endless giving. Let your self-talk become a ceremony. Let every word be a sacred offering. Not what if I fail, but I am carried by divine order. Not it's not possible for me, but I expect and accept miracles as my norm. Each time you repeat these truths, you are not just speaking, you are sculpting, carving new pathways in the subconscious, lighting new lanterns on the path ahead. This is how you rewire the temple. Not with pressure, with practice, not with shame, with sacred repetition. Let us seal this moment with a brief prayer. Infinite Spirit, I surrender the old echoes that no longer serve. Wash the walls of my mind with divine truth. Install in me a new sound, one that sings of wealth, ease, and spiritual alignment. May my inner temple forever echo abundance. Take one last look around this inner place. See it glowing, hear it humming, feel it alive with expectancy. You are no longer thinking by default. You are thinking by design, by intention, by truth. And truth is wealth in seed form. Remember this as you move forward. The outer world is only ever a printout of the inner one. When your inner temple is tuned to the frequency of wealth, life must respond, so speak it daily. Think it nightly. Let it live inside you until it overflows around you. Say it once more. My inner temple is tuned to the frequency of wealth. You are now ready to walk in harmony with the divine design. And in the next section, we will bring all 7 laws together to command prosperity as your permanent state. This is the homecoming, and it begins now. Now that the inner temple has been rewired, it's time to apply, because spiritual knowledge without movement becomes spiritual stagnation. This is where wisdom becomes wealth, where truth takes on rhythm, where your days become a sacred container for divine transformation. You are about to enter a 7-day activation, not a challenge, not a test, an awakening. For the next 7 days, your schedule will not just manage time, it will govern vibration. You will train your inner world to speak, respond, and align with wealth, consistently, consciously, creatively. Florence Scovel Shinn said, intuition is a spiritual faculty and does not explain, but simply points the way. This 7-day rhythm is not logic, it is divine instinct written into form. There are 3 sacred anchors, morning, midday, evening. Each moment of the day designed to pull you back into truth, no matter what the outer world is doing. Let's begin. Morning. Declare your identity and expectation as soon as you wake, before the noise of the world invades your silence. Speak into the divine orchestra of your life. You are not just waking up, you are reporting to your spiritual authority. You are not a servant of circumstance. You are a commander of consciousness. Stand before your inner altar and say, I am a divine expression of wealth. I expect only prosperity. I welcome right opportunities with bold faith. Write this down. Keep it by your bed. Whisper it before your feet touch the ground. Then journal one line. Who am I choosing to be today, in the realm of money? Let your pen be honest. Let your answer be bold. Declare your identity. Expect results midday. Replace every fear thought with truth as the day unfolds. Fear may come knocking. Old thoughts, subtle doubts, tiny seeds of what if. But now you are trained. You do not entertain fear. You substitute it. This is the law of substitution in motion. Florence taught that no two thoughts can occupy the same space at the same time. When fear rises, truth must take its place. So you pause, you breathe, and you speak. My supply is not of this world. My wealth is not dependent on facts. The divine current flows through me now. Each time a fear speaks, you answer. You don't resist. You reroute. You don't react. You are EFRAME. Use this midday prompt to reset your energy. What thought is stealing my peace right now, and what truth do I choose instead? Write it down. Watch the fear dissolve. Rewire in real time. Evening. Speak gratitude and circulate. With intention, the sun begins to set. And now you seal the day with sacred closure. Before you scroll, before you sleep, return to your altar. Speak aloud. I am grateful for all unseen blessings. I release today with trust. I circulate wealth with intention and joy. Gratitude is not a passive ritual. It is the soul's signal to the universe that you're ready for more. And circulation is the divine law that multiplies what you give. Do something small to circulate. Share kind words. Give generously, even if symbolically. Tithe where you are spiritually fed. Write this final prompt before rest. Where did I see the hand of divine wealth today? No matter how small, capture the evidence. Let it compound. Let it become your new pattern of awareness. 7 days of rhythm. 7 days of recalibration. You are not doing this for results alone. You are doing it for remembrance. You are not fixing your life. You are aligning with the truth of who you've always been. Print this rhythm. Write it by hand. Post it on your wall like a sacred contract. Morning. Declare your wealth identity. Journal who you choose to be. Midday. Catch the fear thought. Replace it with spiritual truth. Evening. Speak gratitude aloud. Circulate energy with love. Reflect on the divine fingerprints of the day. Do this with intention for 7 days. Let your energy become so aligned that money can't help but recognize your frequency and come find you. This is how you activate spiritual wealth, not by force, not by chasing, but by rhythm. You are the conductor of this sacred week, and the universe is your orchestra. You have walked through ancient gates. You have remembered who you are. You have met your doubt, your silence, your divine spark, and something inside you has shifted. Now we arrive at the final unveiling. Not a destination, but a reflection. Because wealth was never hidden, it was always showing you something. Wealth is not a mystery. It's a mirror. It reflects your alignment. It reflects your beliefs. It reflects what you permit and what you command. You were never locked out of abundance. You were simply locked into a story that did not serve your spirit. But now, you've rewritten it. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "The game of life is a game of boomerangs." Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. Wealth is your boomerang. And what you've thrown into the universe with your words, your thoughts, your energy comes back, not randomly, precisely. Abundance is not an enigma. It is a response. So if you ever wonder why the money hasn't come, ask not what you are doing wrong, but what you are mirroring. Are you reflecting faith or fear, scarcity or sufficiency, delay or divine timing? This is the final lesson. Money is not waiting to love you. It is waiting to be commanded by you. You are not here to chase money. You are here to direct it with the authority of divine consciousness. You are the voice. Money is the echo. You are the current. Money is the form. Look at your life now, not with judgment, with revelation. What does your mirror reveal? Is it filled with gratitude or complaint, with open palms or clenched fists, with clarity or confusion? There is no shame in the past. There is only power in the present. If the mirror has shown lack, it was only inviting you to clean the glass. to polish the lens of your belief, to reframe the image and see what was always underneath, a soul that is infinitely provided for, a path that is already paved, a treasury that is already open. The law of command is your final key. Speak with it, walk with it, lead with it. Your words are not requests. They are instructions to the unseen. Say it now, not with hope, but with holy conviction. I no longer chase money. I command wealth with divine law. I am aligned. I am provided for. I am ready. Let that declaration echo through your cells. Let it touch the spaces within you, where fear once lived. Let it become your baseline. From this moment forward, everything responds differently to you. Because you respond differently to yourself. You are not trying to earn worth. You are revealing what has always been worthy. You are no longer at the mercy of the world. You are merged with the rhythm of the divine orchestra. And when that music plays, everything in the outer world begins to dance in harmony with your spirit. This is not the end of your wealth journey. It is the unveiling of who you've always been beneath the fear, the wealthy soul, the magnetic mind, the master of divine law. So I ask you now, which spiritual law will you master first? Is it the law of non-resistance, the power of the tongue, the law of substitution, divine timing, or the law of command? Comment below with the one your soul is most ready to embody. Make it known. Speak it into motion. Because once you declare it, heaven listens, and all things begin to move in your favor. Wealth was never outside of you. It was inside your belief, inside your voice, inside your daily rhythm. Now you have the mirror. Now you have the law. Now you are ready. Your soul has been waiting for this moment, and the gates are already open.